guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shannon and thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell so that I can see you here next time. And for those of you coming back, I love you guys so much. Thanks so much for being here. So in today's video, we are going to be continuing on yet again in my collection series, and we're going to be talking about my high-end highlights. So these are all of the highlights that I have in my collection that are high-end. Some of them I've purchased, actually most of them I've purchased with my own money, with the exception of 2 or 3, and I will let you know when we get there as to which ones I did not purchase and received in gratis. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to dive right in, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about these highlights. So the first ones I want to talk about are the Anastasia Glow Kits. The first one I ever got was the Sun Dipped. I like this, you guys. The only issue is I don't use all of the shades. The problem is I feel like this is better suited for deeper complexions, which is perfectly fine. We have enough things to choose from. So I think it's great that they have an option for deeper complected women to choose from. So, but these two shades are beautiful. They work out beautifully. These sit very beautifully on the skin. They do not emphasize texture, in my opinion. And I just love the Anastasia formula. They are absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. Now, I could get use out of these as a blush topper and a bronzer topper. I'm just not usually a huge fan of bronzer toppers. But yes, if you are deeper than I am and you are looking for an amazing highlight palette, I would definitely recommend the Sun Dipped Glow Kit from Anastasia. These are beautiful, and also I think it's an excellent value. You're paying $40 and you get these 4 humongous pans, so really it's $10 a shade. I think that's a great value. The next one I have is the Sugar Glow Kit. Now, when this came out for holiday 2017, I jumped on it, like, immediately. I just knew that this would be like my perfect version of the Sun Dipped. I feel like this one's better suited for lighter complexions. I can use every single shade in this palette, so I'm gonna get my money's worth. You know what I mean? Like, this is an all-around amazing palette. It's great for travel, nice and sleek. The only downfall is you don't have a mirror, but quite honestly, I always get ready in front of a mirror, so I don't necessarily need that, but I know it's important to some people. This shade, Gumdrop here, is definitely unique. I don't have anything quite like it in my collection. I have one other item that's close, but it doesn't perform as intensely as this one does. It's got a pink base with a gold shift, and it is absolutely beautiful on the skin. All of these perform perfectly. Like, there's no dud in this palette. They're all equally beautiful, and again, great value. The next one I have is the Anastasia Glow Kit in Aurora. This I purchased when it went on, actually no, I got this at TJ Maxx, but it's currently on sale at Ulta for half off. I believe I actually paid more for this at TJ Maxx than they're selling it now at Ulta. I kind of wish I would have waited, but when I saw these, now this is not one that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pay 40 bucks for it, but when I saw it half off, I'm like, you know, I don't really have any highlights like this in my collection. This is definitely unique. It's definitely different. It offers something that no other glow palette or highlight palette is gonna give you. This is unique. And all of these shades, typical Anastasia formula, in my opinion, they all perform really beautifully and they all have something different to offer. Intensely pigmented, intense payoff, and I think these are great when you're just doing different looks, you know, like if you're going in with like an all purple monochromatic look, this one here would be the perfect way to highlight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something different. And so if you like to step outside of the box, you dare to be different, I would definitely recommend this one. And like I said, you can get it half off right now at Ulta. Now, this one here is relatively new to my collection. This is the other shade that I was talking about that kind of mimics Gumdrop. This is the new Smashbox collaboration with Vlada. I'm hoping I pronounce that right. I don't personally follow her, the packaging is beautiful. I don't have anything quite as elaborate as this in my collection. And then this is the shade. It's called Gilded Rose. This is beautiful, you guys, but I think when it comes to this product, you're really buying more the packaging than you are the product. I don't find this to be as intense as most of my other high-end highlights, but the more I thought about it, I mean, it swatches nicely, but on the skin, I do have it on today. It's very subtle, so I'm okay with that. I don't really have a whole lot of highlights that are subtle in my collection. You know, most of them pretty much come out intensely pigmented out of the gate. So this is just a different option for me, and I'm happy to have it. But now that I have it, packaging aside, you know, if we're just basing this off of the product itself, it's not something that I would say go buy it, go rush out to buy it. This formula is different than anything. I mean, no, it's nice. It's really more about the packaging though. Pardon my little situation here, you guys. It happened before filming and I just didn't feel like changing my shirt. Is that sad? I probably should have changed my shirt. Forgive me. All right, so let's talk Becca. I just recently, I don't know which video is gonna go up first, but if it hasn't, here's a little sneak peek. Becca highlights, I have 3 of them in the pressed formula. The first one is Lilac Geode. This is my all-time favorite Becca highlight. This is definitely the one that if I ran out of this tomorrow, I would definitely go repurchase right away. It's just different. I don't have anything quite like this in my collection. It's got that lilac lavendery sort of base with this beautiful gold shift, and this looks absolutely stunning on my skin. So this could very well be my all-time favorite highlight. In fact, I think it is. Of all the highlights I have, I'm pretty firm that this would be my fave, which I'm not supposed to tell you that now, am I? The next one I have is Prosecco Pop as well as Champagne Pop. So these are what they look like. You can see this one is a little bit more, it's kind of more of like a rosy gold. Then this one is more of a pure gold, which is Prosecco Pop. I think they're absolutely beautiful. The Becca formula is absolutely incredible, you guys. They are spendy. So in terms of value, I would say the Anastasia ones are definitely a better bang for your buck, but there really is nothing quite like the Becca format and, or formula, and I'm so happy to have these. And then the last one I have from Becca is in the creme version. Now this is one that I did receive in gratis. I did not personally pay for this, and to be quite honest, this is not something that I would personally pay for. While I think this is nice, I'm just not huge into cream highlights. I've never really been able to get them to work for me. I find that they always mess with my foundation. It doesn't matter if I put them on before or after, it just messes with my foundation. So they're just not my personal vibe, but these are really beautiful on the skin. Like the collarbones, you know, your shoulders, down your legs, just to accentuate your legs and make them look longer. So this is something I would prefer on my body as opposed to my face. But it is in the shade Opal, which is my second favorite Becca highlight. All right, so the next ones I have are both from Tarte. One I received in gratis and one I paid for. So this one here in the shade Stunner, I did receive this in gratis. Now when I open this up, this is gonna look very underrated and almost boring, to be honest, but on the skin, it's actually really, really beautiful. I really do enjoy this shade. It's subtle, it's not super overwhelming, but it's a unique shade. I don't really have anything quite like this in my collection, and I find that the fairer I am, the more that one sticks out. This one here was one of the first high-end highlights that I ever purchased, and this is the Tarte highlight in the shade Exposed. Now this one, you guys, it's punchy. There's no doubt about it. It is a pretty highlight. The shade is really, really pretty. I mean, it really is. They blend out beautifully, but I find that these get better with age. The first few times I worked with this, I wasn't crazy about the formula. I also find that the Tarte formula tends to hit hard pan quicker and easier than any of my other highlights, and I'm not sure what that's all about. Of the two, I definitely prefer Exposed over Stunner, but it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're more into a subtle highlight, I would say Stunner is the way to go. These are very long wearing. It's that typical Tarte long wearing formula, just like their blushes, where it's really gonna get you through the day, and I do appreciate that. But that being said, I'm also not in a huge hurry to go out and buy more Tarte highlights. I much prefer Becca, I much prefer Anastasia, and some of the other brands that I'm about to mention. The next one I have is good old Mary Lou from The Balm. I'm sure if you've been watching YouTube for any length of time, you've heard of Mary Lou. This is just a beautiful highlight, you guys. It's just one of those cult favorites, and for good reason. The formula is beautiful, the shade is beautiful. It's this one right here, and it doesn't matter where I am in terms of shade. This just works for me. She's stunning. Yes, I paid for her with my own money, and the packaging is so cute, right? Super cute. All right, next is one from Ofra. Now, I only have one Ofra highlight, and after trying this one out, I really want to get Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk is definitely on my radar. These are very powdery. There's definitely a lot of kickback. You really have to be careful when you go into their formula not to really swirl your brush a lot because they are rather powdery, but I'm pretty sure that this is probably the most intense highlight in my collection. I mean, there is really there's nothing subtle about this. This is gonna be punchy out of the gate. There's really not a whole lot you can do to make it subtle. So if you're not into a pop-in highlight, this Ofra formula is probably not for you, but I think it's absolutely incredible. They're spendy, but they're worth every penny in my opinion, and I really, really want to get Pillow Talk. It's that like light pinky one that they came out with during Valentine's Day. I really want that one, but I think going forward, when I buy highlights, I'm going to try to pick them up in the mini version if there's a mini available, because as you guys know, I mean, it takes forever to get through a highlight. So that is Rodeo Drive. The next one I have is the Anastasia Amrezy highlight. All right, you guys, number one, packaging is beautiful. I mean, we can all attest to that. It does have a mirror. The inside is just as beautiful as the outside, and it's just very well thought out. I mean, they really put a lot of time and effort into packaging, formula, the whole nine. Now, my opinion with this, you guys, when I first picked this up, I wasn't as impressed as I thought I was going to be. I didn't think that it was as great as everybody was making it out to be. However, the more I use this, the more I like it. It almost seems to me, and maybe this is just me, let me know if you guys have this and experience the same thing. I'd be curious to know. But it almost had sort of like a, kind of like a film on top. Once I got through the first, layer, it performs beautifully. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. But I didn't love it based off of the first time I used it. So if you picked I found it to be a little bit glittery when I first bought it, and I think it might have a little bit of an overspray of some sort. I'm not sure, but there was something about this and the way that it sat on my skin and how it performed. I wasn't crazy about it. So if you have this and you're not loving it immediately, keep going, because it does seem to get better the more you use it. But yeah, let me know if you guys had that same issue. But yeah, oh my god, so beautiful, right? I mean, yeah, it's beautiful. It's worth it. All right, next up, I have one from Laura Geller. This is a mini of her Gilded Honey. This is really beautiful, you guys. I really love her formula. You guys know I love Laura Geller overall. That's Gilded Honey. It's just this intense molten gold, and this looks so beautiful on the skin. It just doesn't emphasize texture. It lays beautifully. It melts right into the skin. It really is just stunning. So I would be interested in picking up the shade Peach Glow from her, and I've also looked at Diamond Dust as well, and I've been interested in that one. Let me know if you have either of those two and how you feel about them. The last ones I have are creams. Now the first one is the Anastasia Liquid Glow. I did receive this in gratis, and I feel the same way about this one as I do the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid in Opal. I have that one as well. It's on my shelf. I forgot to grab it, but I did talk about it in my Becca brand overview. If that video hasn't gone up, you'll see it soon. If it's already up, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, liquid highlights for me, you guys, are just better suited for the body. I love a good liquid highlight on the body, but on my face, I'm just not a fan. I just don't like the way that liquids mess with my foundation. So that being said, this is intense. This is stunning. A little tiny bit goes a long way. For me, I would prefer this, I think, over like Rihanna's new body oil situation, because that looks really greasy. This gives you that effect without being greasy. So, you know, if you're interested in something like that Rihanna thing, I would say maybe look at the Anastasia or the Becca ones, because honestly, it's essentially the same thing or effect. But from what I've heard, that Rihanna one is very expensive, number one, and it makes you feel greasy. I'm not a fan of feeling greasy. So anyways, you guys, while I like this, it's not necessarily something that I would purchase with my own money, if that makes sense. But yeah, you guys, that's my high-end highlighter collection. I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions on any of this stuff, just be sure to ask me down below. I know, guys, I've got my sleeves rolled up. I've got stains going on. I'm a hot mess. It's getting hot down here. Honestly, it's getting very hot. It's very hot. But anyway, done ranting. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.